Welcome to RoxTalks. My name is Roxanne Wilson, and this is a solo episode. Warning for you. It is Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope that you're having a fantastic holiday. And if you took a moment to listen on Christmas Day, well, then I feel really special. But regardless of when you're listening, I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to start by what I love to say at the end, and then we'll talk some more. You're not ahead. You're not behind. You're exactly where you should be. All right, let's get started. Hey there, what are you doing in the new year? Well, I am hosting the Instagram 5-Day Stories Challenge. It is back and better than ever, and I would love for you to join me in that challenge. What is it all about? It's about learning Instagram stories the right way. It's about the tips and tricks. It's about getting the strategy down so you're able to do it well, and it is rocking. Y'all, it starts on January 6th. If you would like to join, I'd love for you to join in on the fun that is Instagram stories, because it's going to help not only increase your followers, but also increase your engagement and your business. Go to www.socialstoriesmembership.com. The W's are important for this one. I don't know why, but www.socialstoriesmembership.com. There you'll see where you can sign up for the 5-Day Stories Challenge. And I promise you, it is going to be #life-changing. January 6th, but sign up now and I'll see you there. Oh, and if you want a discount, do you? Oh, absolutely. Go ahead and put in the code RoxTalks. When you put in RoxTalks, you're going to get $5 off of the challenge. Fantastic. All right, see you there. Bye. Welcome back to RoxTalks. It's the last one of the year. It is. That's the last one. Oh my goodness. And so as it being the last one, I wanted to just talk to you, real talk, okay, my network marketers, and just talk to you about the new decade, but also talk to you about the decade that's about to leave us. So we're going to talk about that today and really dive in. Of course, you're going to have all of your, we're going to cover all the bases. But here's my first question for you. When you think about the fact that 2019 is almost over, how does that make you feel? Like, do you get excited? Are you like, oh, I should have done X, Y, and Z? I'm curious because the way you leave 2019 will really determine how you start 2020. Now, we're not going to get into goal setting today. Why? Because I feel like there's something we need to touch base on in addition to or instead of that. And I know you're getting goal setting everywhere. We're not going to talk about resolutions either. Not that I have a problem with them. I used to, I don't anymore. But what I want to talk to you about is your word. Your word. I want to know from you what your word for 2019 was and what your word for 2020 is. In fact, what's your word? What is she talking about? I mean, what's your word? Like your mantra, your one word, is just one word that was your guiding force, your guiding light for the year. Mine this year was consistency. I knew from mid-November of 2018 that 2019 was going to be about consistency. Now, the reason I think having a word is so good is because then you can go back and go, how did I do on that word? That word that I was going to focus on, that word, where did that, did it come true? Did it not come true? Looking back on a year or even a decade is not about judging yourself in a harsh way. It's about looking at the reality of what it was like, taking responsibility for it, finding the learns, the lessons, and the tells in it, and then growing from that. So when I look at my word for the last year, consistency, I can sit back and tell you, well, was I kind of consistent? I mean, yeah, I definitely more so the second half of the year than the first half of the year. My shift on my focus changed on what was important to me. And maybe part of that was just being true to me. I was being maybe consistent in that way and going, Roxanne, what serves you? What makes you happy? How are you filling your passion, which my passion is to help others, and that makes me happy. And how can I do that most effectively? So part of the whole process for me was figuring that out. Now, when I think of consistency, I think the fact that I send out emails on a daily basis to my network marketers that have storyboards for them so they can grow their business is definitely consistent. So I think I passed in that result. But I'll tell you, this year has been one of a lot of change. Like if I was looking back on the year, I probably would have called it the year of change, not the year of consistency, because consistency and change seem to be like so cattywampus. But what I'll tell you is, and I've had a year. I mean, we've all had years, so I don't think I'm any different than you are. But when I think about the fact that a lot of things happened in my life personally that really should have kicked me down, like should have dropped me on my butt, but I'm still standing and just looking at, wow, how amazing life is in a lot of ways. Not to get into it because they're not my personal stories. I mean, I'm like a what do they call it? Supporting actress, but there are a lot of health issues that happened to those that I love dearly this year. And as a result, I learned a lot about medicine. Wow, have I ever. But I also was reminded that nothing, no day, no breath is promised to us. And we know that, but we feel invincible anyway. And I got some real lessons this year, the second half of the year of that. Now, some people might look at that and go, are you doing something wrong? Why are all these things happening? But y'all, there were so many blessings in all of those things that happened that I know that the blessing was the reason for it, not the curse. But you know, I'm a glass half full girl. So I never look at it and go, why me? It's like, okay, I'm seeing through this how strong my resolve, how consistent my resolve is, how consistent my faith is, how amazing it is to have a job, or a business, I should say, that allows me to take off some major time to be with my loved ones. Now, I flew to London for less than 32 hours and flew back to help a loved one. Like that's like, you can't just do that. And then I took time off and was home for like a week or so attached to that. I spent 2 weeks basically in a hospital in Los Angeles for another health issue that was going on. Able to be there for those I love and never have to worry about, is my business suffering or do I have to take time off? I didn't have to worry about any of that. I was able to be there for the ones I loved. And that was huge. So I guess in that case, when things were inconsistent and there was a lot of change, I can say that I had the resolve and the consistency. And so maybe I was consistent. Are you taking this time right now to think about your word, or think, if you didn't have a word, what was your resolution then? What was the thing you wanted to accomplish this past year? And were you better with that one thing? See, here's the reason, and I said I was going to talk about resolutions, and now here I am. Here's the thing about resolutions. Resolutions are so grandiose, A, and B, if we don't hit that exact thing, it's like, oh, we didn't get that. Resolutions usually last, what they say, maybe 4 weeks, maybe. A word is something that sticks with you and you're like, oh, consistency. And it applies to so many different things. I can tell you, I did the lean program with Amanda Nybert and I've been consistent about it, and I've seen the results from being consistent. And I've also seen the battles of being consistent with different things in my life, trying to be consistent and make sure that I'm doing things. There's times where I've not been very good, or consistent, I should say, about posting on social media. Me, the one who teaches it. I mean, it's funny that I can make a storyboard for people and then sometimes not actually personally post. You're like, what the? Because I'm human, A, and that consistency thing is a constant battle. So what I guess I'm saying is I would give myself a B+ on consistency. There's some things I would have liked to be more consistent about, but I also feel like this has been a year of change. Again, I say that again, so maybe I really do feel like it should have been change in such a fantastic way. And I was consistently myself through all of them. All right, so that's what I'm saying. So let's talk about that. Hopefully that gives you like a little feel for, or your review of the year in past, but maybe that's gonna help you with your year in the future. One of my clients said just the other day that her word for next year was change. And I love that. She wanted things in her business to change. She wants movement and change. I think that's a great one. I've actually been struggling this year with my word. It just, like, you know, you have those moments when it pops in your head. It popped in my head last year. Then I'm like, why hasn't it popped in my head this year? Where is it? But I came up with it, getting ready to talk to you about it today. And so I'm really excited. I'm going to reveal it with you. My word for next year is possibility. No, I take that back. That's not it. I told you the wrong word. And I'm not editing this. You're getting this all real. My word is endless, because I believe that my potential is endless. The possibilities are endless. The next step is endless. I know that sounds weird because I just talked to you about how no day is promised to us, but every day that we do get is endless. So let's take advantage of the opportunities in them. I might choose my word to be endless, because when I believe that things are endless, that means I can pour into you and believe, hey, and remind you that your potential is endless. You can do the crazy wackadoo thing you think you don't even want to tell me that you want to do because you're afraid of telling anyone. You can do those things. This actually reminds me, I was doing a group session with some of my OGs, the original people who went through my training, my IG Like an MLM Boss program. We were doing a group training last week. And one of them, we're goal setting. So I do goal setting. And one of them, she actually stated a goal that I'm like, you want to do what? Wait, what? I'm like, so I was like, oh, is this new? She's like, no, it's actually a goal I've had for a while, but I've been too afraid to say it out loud. This is the first time I've said it out loud. Okay, so first of all, that made me so happy. Secondly, it made me so happy and so excited. She was coming and stepping into her light, and she was willing and ready to say a goal that has been marinating in her head, her like big goal, and she was finally ready to say it out loud. To me, that I felt like, wow, that's accomplishment in what I try and achieve with my clients. But more importantly, it's such accomplishment for her to have that confidence to step in her light and go, this is who I am, and this is the goal that I am going to achieve. So I guess that's why, one of the reasons why endless is my word. That's my word. And it's not just about me. It's about you. It's really about you. It's really about you seeing that your possibility and your opportunity is endless. It's about when you get to the point where you feel like you just can't figure this thing out. You're tired of figuring out the dang lead generator. You don't understand your target market. You don't know how you're going to get to this goal of that trip or that vehicle or that promotion or that title. I want you to remember me telling you endless. Your potential, your ability, what you can achieve in this next decade, in this next year, the next month is endless. And if you don't believe, that's okay, because I believe for you, and we're going to get it, girl. We're going to make it happen. So my homework for you over the next 6 days really, is to pick a word. Pick a word. And when you pick that word, you don't just pick it, you remember it. So you're not like Roxanne, use the wrong word, but you put it different places. Put it like, I'm not saying you have to tattoo it, but if you really love it after you and you want it again, maybe you do tattoo it, but put it like on your mirror. For me, my office, believe it or not, the part that you can't see in my office if you're watching on the video is all windows. And so I fill those windows with things that I want to see. So when I hit different angles, I see a goal that I want. I'm going to put my word on those windows so that my word is there and I know what my word is. I'm going to put it on my phone. I'm going to put it in different places, because endless is what I need to be reminded of constantly. So your task is to find your word. And when you pick your word, don't just pick it, don't just put it everywhere. I want you to tell me what it is. Will you please go ahead and screenshot this episode, or just tag me, dang it, I don't care. And then tag me RoxTalks on Instagram. I will see it. I want to celebrate your word with you. That's really, let's do it as a community, okay? I love this community of RoxTalks. I love y'all, and you're amazing. The other thing we're going to talk about in a moment is a tech tip. But before we get to the tech tip, we're going to roll right into mindset. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to RoxTalks, the Christmas edition. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Y'all, I used to, I'll sing that like all day long. I'll be nice to you, but I love that song. I love a lot of Christmas songs. almost all of them. So I want to talk to you about your mindset, our mindset moment, which I love because we can just get real. Because if we're being real with ourselves, it doesn't matter how much work we do. It doesn't matter how great our Instagram is. It doesn't matter if we have all the right things right. If our mindset is in the pooper, we're not going to get very far. And as we're going into the end of the holiday season and the beginning of a new decade, hey there, 2020, I want to talk to you about where your mind is right now. We take the time to think back on what we achieved, but we really probably take more time to think about what we didn't achieve this year. Maybe you didn't get to the goal that you wanted. Maybe you didn't get the trip that you wanted or the promotion. Maybe your business is not what you thought it was going to be. I want you to give yourself time and a moment to mourn that. If mourning for you is crying, cry. If mourning for you is throw something like a Nerf ball and let it happen. Maybe it's writing in your journal. Take the time to mourn that and then stand up in your light, in your truth, and move forward. We got to get up and we got to keep walking, right? The truth is you're not behind. You feel like you might be behind, you know, you're not ahead, you're right where you need to be. And for some reason, this is where you are right now. I can't make it feel any better for you. I'd love to, but I can't. But you can make it better by saying this happened. It happened, not to me, it happened. Happening to me means you don't take responsibility. It happened. It's not what I wanted the outcome to be, but I'm moving forward. Now I speak from, listen, y'all, I've had goals that I wanted in my business and I didn't hit them and I was crying because I'm emotional, so that's what I do. And I had to wipe my face off. I had to pull up my big girl panties and go, it's going to be okay, and move forward. And the great thing about that is if you decide to pick up that step, pick yourself up off the ground and keep moving forward, I promise you what you wanted or even beyond that is coming. It's there, but it's not going to be there if you just sit down in your tears. You got to get up, you got to straighten yourself up and keep going. So that's what I want you to do. Take this time. And for you, you might still be running for your goal. You might, run. But if you don't get it, take the time to mourn it. And then in the nicest way I can possibly say, it's time to move on, to move forward, to go forth. There's a new decade, right? And that's, I mean, a new year is exciting, but a new decade, first of all, it's like, how did we even get there? But you got a new decade. You have infinite or endless, hey, potential. So what do you want your news story to be? And don't sit there and go, well, I didn't get this, so I don't think I can achieve that. That's not how it works, honey bunches. That's not how they're connected, okay? You did not get that. That doesn't mean you are unable to or unworthy of getting what you want for 2020. So wipe that out of your head, wipe that out of your mind. Every time it comes up, you say, not today, say, not today. Not on Christmas, you crazy. And you move forth knowing that it's a new day, a new dawn, and you're gonna be able to live your life and get your goals. So that is my wish for you, to take that time, mourn it, and then move on and move forth into your light. We'll be right back with the tech tip. All right, it's the last tech tip of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Happy holidays. And the tech tip we're going to talk about today is actually scrubbing. Social media scrubbing is like the technical term. What I want you to do is take some time over the next week and scrub or plan to scrub your social media. What am I talking about? I mean, there are some dated things that are not giving your Instagram profile life. They're actually hurting you. Something I did with my members a couple weeks back is I reminded them right after Black Friday to scrub, as in erase, delete any posts about Black Friday, about Cyber Monday. Why? Well, first and foremost, because when you have a sale up and it's still up, imagine I go to Target and I go to the Chip and Jojo Magnolia Home Store, and one of those awesome candles I've been wanting is there, and there's a big red sign, because those are the signs at Target, right, that says 50% off. And I'm like, sweet, it's brand new and I get 50% off. I'm all excited, so excited that I take a picture and I send it to my sister Rochelle, and I'm like, look what I'm getting, 50% off. You need to get yours. So I take my big candle, I go up to the register, she rings it up, and she's like, no, that's not 50% off. I'm like, what do you mean it's not 50% off? She says the price. I'm like, no, it's 50% off. She's like, no, it's not 50% off. I'm like, it is 50% off. In fact, I have the picture right here where it says it. Two things can happen in that moment. She can either say, whoops, our bad. Let me go ahead and give you the 50% off anyway. Or she can say, whoops, our bad, so sad, you paying full price, girl. Now, think about that as a business owner, because you're a business owner, don't you forget. If you give me 50% off on a brand new item, some head's gonna roll, right? You're like annoyed. You're doing the right, what I consider the right thing, but you have to do that because you didn't take the sign off. Someone forgot to take the sign off, so you gotta give me 50%. Or you're that other business owner who doesn't give me the 50% off. And how do I feel about your business? I'm a little annoyed with Target. I'm like, I should have just gone to Amazon. Chip and Jojo are cute, but that's not right. You get me? If you take the time to erase your sales, then there's no confusion. Then I'm not like, wait a moment. It's different than if you're sending an email, right? An email has a deadline, like buy this by this date, expires. But if I go to your social media and it says Black Friday special, and I want the special, and you're like, it's expired, you might be like, hello, it says Black Friday. It doesn't matter. Do you know how long the Cyber Monday deals, Cyber Week deals, they're still going, y'all. So unless you intentionally have a strategy where you just want that offer to still be there, like I've done that before, where like my Black Friday special for this year, I left on my Facebook intentionally. And guess what? People after Black Friday kept buying it. And I didn't mind. I left it open because I wanted them to have that. I didn't say, hey, it's still open, but if they wanted it, that's fine. It's kind of like the Bed Bath & Beyond. Your coupon works whenever you want it to. They'll honor it. So think about that, right? If that's not the case, especially if you're doing something that your company is offering that discount, you want to erase those things. Here's the second reason why you need to take time to social media scrub any sales you've been doing. Because let's say you're just going bananas. You're doing like 12 days of Christmas. Ooh, 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 ooh. Now you get leeway during the sale time, during the holiday time, I should say, to do a lot of sales. But after that, we're tired of seeing all that. I want to be able to look down the road at your thing and not go, oh, she's only talking about her business and sales. You lose that leeway. So go ahead and take those down. I don't care if you had 5,000 people like it or comment, take it down. Take it down. Third reason, here's a big one. Third reason is if I see that you did all those sales, then I'm going to just wait for your next sale because I know you're just a sale happy person. So even though I need that eye cream, I can wait and get a little more wrinkles because I'm a sale happy person. So I'm just going to wait. Surely she's going to have a sale in January, maybe February. I'll just wait for that. You don't want that either. You don't want people waiting for the sales unless your company is one that's what you guys do. You do sales all the time. Some companies have like buy one, get two free, and that's their constant sale. That's fine. But if that is not your network marketing company, you need to take those things down. So what are you taking down? You're taking down all posts on your social media that talk about the sale. Just delete them. It's easy. Just delete them. You're going to your Instagram stories, and if you did a highlight, you're going to go into the highlight and page by page, delete those pages. Delete, delete, delete. If you did a complete highlight on a special or a sale, delete that puppy. She needs to go. Sale is gone and that is gone. That can be something you can do when you can't sleep at night and you're like, let me just do some social media scrubbing. You sound so good using the titles. Don't mind me, I'm doing some social media scrubbing. Scrub that out. That's my tech tip for you. If you are doing an end of the year sale, great. Now you know that when the year is over, January 1st, you erase, 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 and just keep that practice going. All right, that's all I have for you today during the Christmas edition of RoxTalks. So great to to be here with you whenever you're listening. But I want you to know that I appreciate you so much. And to me, when I think about the best gift that I've gotten in my business over the decade, it's you. It's you, the listeners. It's my members for Social Stories. It's being able to help network marketers grow their business. So I am so very appreciative for you, and for you saying, yeah, I'm going to let this crazy Roxanne into my life a little to help me grow and help me think about my business like a CEO rather than a glorified salesperson, because that is not who you are. No, ma'am. So thank you guys so much. Have a happy holidays. I will see you in the new year. Be safe. And remember, you are not ahead. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Take care.